Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. Today I'm going to share my personal testimony that I wrote up recently for class. So I have not always been a Christian. I mostly grew up in a secular world, chasing after all my fleshy desires and trying to achieve the ideal life based on the secular world standards. Even though I did go to church with my parents while growing up, I was even baptized at age 13. I still fell away from my faith. I did because I didn't fully understand what it means to follow Jesus and be a Christian. So throughout my teens, my 20s, and to my late 30s, I followed the world instead of Jesus. Before I realized I needed Jesus, I was broken, miserable, lost, in pain, physically and mentally, overwhelmed with depression, anger, and in financial ruin over foolish purchases, and experienced intrusive suicidal thoughts. I often hid my pain with a fake smile. I would run away from my problems instead of facing them. I would find escape from my miserable reality by playing video games, watching TV, and going into my mind to use my imagination. Finally, in 2021, I was seeking help for my physical and mental health by seeing a doctor. Through prescribed antidepressant medication, I began to think clearly. I started wondering what my purpose is in life and began to search for something spiritual, which led me to acknowledge that there is a God. However, I bounced around in some false teaching in 2022 and some in 2023, which were New Age and New Thought, while the Lord slowly devised his amazing plan to bring me back to him. I finally received Jesus in September 2023 when he led me to a local church that I am still going today. I only live 6 miles away from this church, and I even watched that church being built over that summer and wondering what that building was going to be. Once I stepped into that church, I was hooked and all in with Jesus. Being unemployed, I was consumed with reading the Bible, attending church, joining a small group that brought me friendship and community. I decided to get baptized again and leave my old sinful life and begin my new life with Jesus on November 19th, 2023. In December, I became a member of the church, and the Lord led me to my current job after being unemployed for 9 months. The Lord moved fast for me in that last 4 months in 2023 after going all in with Jesus. The biggest changes in my life that I noticed is that I gain a community and friends who care about me. My attitude and outlook on life has changed. I have a sense of purpose, direction in life now. I enjoy life a lot more with Jesus. I have desire to serve others, a passion for learning, reading, and teaching scripture, and sharing my love for Jesus with others. However, I have faced some challenges. Most of my challenges came from within myself throughout 2024 until even now. I had to learn to let go of my shame and guilt of my past sins. I had an internal struggle about whether my past, present, and future sins had been forgiven. I had to wrap my head around the fact that Jesus paid for my sins when he died on the cross. I had to also learn to trust and lean on Jesus while going through bankruptcy in 2024. And in 2025, I had internal struggle about my true identity of who I am with the Lord before I started Liberty University Online. The Lord helped me overcome all these internal struggles that I face and continue to help me every day. Now I'm continuing my education so I can serve Jesus by honoring and glorifying him through sharing my testimony, my faith, and the good news. Jesus brought me out of darkness, who I once was lost, lonely, broken, depressed, and miserable, and into a new life of joy, a purpose, friends, community, and a relationship with Jesus. So how can I share something? Can I share how something like this can happen to you? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.